I step out of my black Tesla, and the Colorado autumn air hits my face like a slap from the past. 5 years. 5 years since I walked out of this family's life with nothing but my programming skills and a promise that still echoes in my ears. The Prairie Hills Country Lodge towers ahead, its marble entrance gleaming under the setting sun. When guests inside, celebrating Grandpa Miriam's 78th birthday. They have no idea what's coming. My phone buzzes against my palm. Nolan Pierce, my COO, never texts unless it's urgent. The AG's office confirmed. Grandpa's audit backs up their case. The warrant is active. Tonight could be the night. My fingers tighten around the device. Attorney General, warrant. Words that should terrify me, but instead, something cold and sharp settles in my chest. Justice. Maybe, or vindication. Adjust my $3,000, Armani blazer, the charcoal fabric, fitting like armor. The same family who dismissed me as a failure 5 years ago has no clue their disappointment. Now runs a $180 million cybersecurity empire. Watch me. I whisper to the marble steps, but even as I say it, my hands shake. The memory crashes over me like it always does. That dinner 5 years ago. The Grant family dining room with its pretentious mahogany table and crystal chandelier that cost more than most people's cars. I was 26, desperate, still believing I could earn their approval if I just tried harder. Playing with code isn't a career. Dad's voice carried that familiar blend of disappointment and dismissal. Douglas Grant, real estate mogul, couldn't fathom that technology might actually matter. When are you going to get serious about your future? Mom sat down her wine glass with a delicate clink. Why can't you be more like Batray? The comparison cut deepest because it was designed to Batray, golden child extraordinaire, leaned back in his chair with that smile I'd learned to fear. Actually, I might have something for Jazz. My nonprofit could use an assistant. Part-time. Of course, assistant, part-time. After I'd spent 3 years building security software companies were actually buying. See, Mom's face lit up like Batray had just cured cancer. Batray always looked out for the family. The weight of 26 years crashed down on me. Years of being the family scapegoat, the one who couldn't measure up. The disappointment. I'd worked double shifts at 16 to pay for college, while Batray's education was fully funded, no effort required. Yet somehow he was the favorite. Tonight, they'll see exactly who I've become, and no one will see it coming. Before I continue, tell, from which place are you watching this story right now? Please subscribe and like the video for motivation. I step through the lodge's grand doors, and the chatter of the party swirls around me, laughter, clinking glasses, the faint hum of a string quartet. Every face I pass carries the same unspoken question. Where has Jazz been all these years? Batray spots me immediately. His perfectly tailored suit looks like it was made to taunt me. That same smug smile, the one Mom and Dad have always rewarded. But now something is different. I see the flicker of doubt in his eyes. He approaches, glass in hand, voice smooth like it always is. Jazz, didn't expect to see you here. Funny, I say, letting my words hang. I didn't expect to see you running the show while claiming credit for everything I built. The guests glance over, curiosity piqued. Whispers begin. Batray's eyes dart toward our parents, then back to me, calculating. You've changed, he says carefully, almost rehearsed. I hear you're successful, I smirk. $180 million successful. Not bad for the guy they said couldn't do anything right. Batray laughs, but it's tight, forced. His gaze slides to Grandpa Miriam, who beams at the party, oblivious to the tension creeping through the room. The perfect audience for my little revelation. I glance at Nolan, who stands discreetly near the corner, laptop open, ready to show me the live data feed from the AG's office. Tonight isn't just about family. Tonight is about the truth, as Batray tries to steer the conversation back to safe. Small talk. I let the words slip carefully, like a trap being set. Funny thing about family, I say. Voice low but deliberate. Sometimes the people who smile the widest are the ones hiding the worst. Secrets. Batray freezes. Not the charm, not the arrogance, but the knowledge that something I know is dangerous. My pulse quickens. I've waited years for this, years to see him squirm. Under the weight of what he's done, the first murmurs rise around the room. Guests glance between us, sensing the electricity in the air. No one leaves this lodge tonight unchanged. I take a slow step closer to Batray, letting the silence stretch. Then drop the final seed. By the way, did you really hire private investigators to dig into me? To prove I was lying? His smile falters, the first crack in his armor. I watch carefully, savoring the moment. Batray isn't invincible. Not tonight. And just like that, the family's golden boy is suddenly the one under the microscope. The room feels smaller now, even with all the guests milling about. Every laugh, every clink of a glass seems louder, sharper, like the lodge itself is listening. Batray tries to regain composure, but I can see it, the confidence slipping, just a little. Batray stammers, taking a small step back. His perfectly styled hair, the tailored suit, even the expensive cufflinks, they can't save him from what's coming. I lean casually against the marble staircase, letting the silence stretch. Didn't think it through, huh? Hiring investigators to dig into me. Funny, considering how many skeletons are hiding in your own closet. Guests begin whispering, heads turning. Eyes flick between us, sensing the tension thickening like storm clouds over the lodge. Some take out their phones, cameras flashing discreetly. This isn't just a confrontation, it's a spectacle in the making. Batray's jaw tightens. He glances at our parents, hoping for intervention, but Dad looks rigid. Mom's grip on her glass tightening. No one speaks. The golden boy is alone now, and I can see the panic in his eyes. I step closer, letting my words land with precision. Funny thing about lies, Batray. You dig so deep to protect yourself. Sometimes you forget who's really watching. I pull out my phone and swipe. Nolan's feed lights up. Spreadsheets, emails, bank transfers, proof. Evidence connecting. Batray to small fraudulent deals he'd hidden under the guise of family investments. The very same investigators he hired to check me have, without knowing, exposed him instead. Batray's face pales. His hands tremble slightly, the first unguarded moment in years. That's not... He stammers. Not what? I say, voice calm but cold. Not fraud, not deception, not exactly the person Mom and Dad have been praising all these years. Whispers turn to murmurs, murmurs to outright chatter. Eyes flick between me, Batray, and the laptop showing the evidence. Grandpa Miriam's birthday party has become something else entirely, reckoning. I glance at the room, letting the moment settle. Every glance is a message. I wasn't lying. I wasn't the failure. Batray, the golden boy, has been hiding in plain sight. Batray opens his mouth, but I cut him off. And the funny thing? You don't even realize the investigators you hired have already handed me the key to everything you wanted to hide. His face twitches. Sweat beads along his temple. The golden mask cracks just a little. And the room? The guests are no longer celebrating. They're witnesses. By the time he realizes the full scope of what's happening, it's too late. Tonight the roles are reversed. The former scapegoat isn't just back. He's in control. Batray's face has lost all color. His usual arrogance, the kind that once made him untouchable in our family, has vanished like smoke. Every guest is watching now, and the whispers have grown into low murmurs, swirling like wildfire around the room. Jazz, he starts, voice tight, shaking slightly. You don't understand. I cut him off with a slow shake of my head. Oh, I understand perfectly. You wanted to dig up dirt on me, prove that I was a liar, that I didn't deserve anything. Funny how the truth has a way of coming back, isn't it? Guests edge closer, some craning their necks to see the laptop screen Nolan set up discreetly. Bank transfers, falsified documents, fake contracts, all proof that Batray had been siphoning money from the family investments, hiding behind his perfect image. The investigators he hired unknowingly handed me everything I needed. Batray's eyes dart around, searching for an escape, for someone to intervene. Mom's wine glass is frozen mid-air, Dad's jaw tight. Grandpa Miriam's face a mixture of confusion and growing anger. No one speaks. No one moves. I take a step closer, letting the silence do the work. You see, Batray, everyone thought you were the golden child, the one who always had it all together. But tonight that illusion ends. His hands tremble. He tries to swipe at the laptop, shut it down, but I'm faster. Nolan blocks him smoothly. Not happening. Nolan says, voice low but firm. Batray swallows hard. His voice falters. Jazz. You don't have to. I let the room hang on his every word before I deliver the next blow. I don't have to do anything. The truth is doing it all on its own. The guests gasp as one by one they scroll through the evidence on their own devices. Nolan had discreetly shared the files through a secure link. Every face in the room now understands. Betray's golden reputation was built on lies. Mom's lips press into a thin line. Dad's hands tighten into fists. Betray stumbles backward, his carefully crafted mask shattered. I feel the years of anger, the frustration, the resentment, all of it boiling over. This isn't just about revenge. This is justice long overdue. I step forward, voice calm, but carrying across the room. Tonight, Betray learned what I've known for years. The person everyone dismissed, the one you tried to destroy, wasn't lying, and the one who tried to prove me wrong. I pause, letting my eyes lock on him. Just exposed himself. Betray's knees weaken slightly. He glances at Grandpa Miriam, whose gaze has turned icy, disappointed. The golden boy has fallen, and the family who once exalted him watches in stunned silence. The air is thick, heavy with tension, and for the first time, I don't feel fear, only vindication. Tonight, the family saga changes, and it changes on my terms. The room is frozen in disbelief. Glasses tremble in hands, conversations have stopped mid-sentence, and every eye is locked on Betray. For the first time, he's not the golden boy. He's exposed, vulnerable, human. I can explain, Betray stammers, voice cracking under the weight of the room's gaze. He glances at Mom, then Dad, hoping for some kind of rescue. None comes. Mom's face is cold, unreadable. Dad's arms are crossed, jaw tight. Their silence is louder than any words he could muster. I let the tension stretch, letting every whispered gasp sink in. Explain what, Betray? I ask, voice steady. How you spent years pretending, lying, and thinking no one would notice. Or how you tried to drag me through the mud, thinking that would make you look good. Betray's hands shake. He looks down at the laptop screen, then around at the party guests. His carefully curated image shattered. Jazz, please, this isn't... I step closer, leaning in just enough to make my presence undeniable. This is, I say firmly, every lie, every scheme, every little betrayal. Tonight it all comes to light. And the truth doesn't need me to twist it. The truth stands on its own. Some of the guests begin whispering among themselves, scrolling through the evidence on their phones, faces pale. Betray's name, his reputation, his carefully constructed persona, they're crumbling. Right here, in front of everyone, Betray's panic grows. He glances toward Grandpa Miriam, hoping for intervention. Grandpa, I can fix this.
It's not what it looks like.
Grandpa Miriam's gaze, however, is piercing and unwavering. Betray, he says slowly, voice low but cutting, I expected better from you. I truly did. Tonight, you've shown me exactly who you are. The words hit harder than any attack I could make. Betray swallows hard, a sheen of sweat across his forehead. His legs wobble as if he's trying to find solid ground, but there is none. Turn slightly to the room, letting my eyes sweep over the stunned guests. And as for me, I pause, letting my voice carry. I may have been the failure in your eyes once, the disappointment. But tonight, you're the one everyone will remember, and I am finally free of the shadow you cast for so long. Betray takes a shaky step back, clutching at his jacket like it will somehow protect him. Guests are now openly taking photos, whispering, some murmuring congratulations to me. The shift is complete. The golden boy is no longer untouchable, and the one he tried to bury is standing tall, commanding the room. I glance at Nolan, who gives a subtle nod. Everything is going according to plan. The evidence, the timing, the family's shock, it's perfect. Betray's attempts to speak dissolve into silence as the weight of exposure presses down. No charm, no excuses. No golden boy antics can undo what has just been revealed. Tonight, the family sees the truth. And it is devastating. Betray's composure has completely crumbled. The golden boy, the one who had always commanded admiration and fear, now stumbles through the room like a man drowning in his own lies. I didn't, he starts, voice shaking. But the words die before they leave his mouth. Every guest, every whispering neighbor, every curious glance reinforces the trap he's fallen into. Grandpa Miriam stands, cane in hand, his eyes sharp and cold. Betray, enough. His voice carries authority, the kind that leaves no room for excuses. You've humiliated yourself and this family long enough. Mom's wine glass finally settles on the table with a soft yet cutting clink. She doesn't speak, but her silence slices through the room. Dad's arms are still crossed, jaw tight, his disapproval heavier than any words could be. Betray's golden mask is gone. Only shame remains. I take a slow step toward him, letting the room feel the weight of each motion. 5 years, Betray. 5 years you tried to make me the failure, the scapegoat, the one to blame. But tonight your empire of lies collapses. Every private investigator you hired, every attempt to dig up dirt on me, has done nothing but uncover your fraud. The murmurs grow louder, guests scrolling through the evidence that Nolan has made available on their devices. Every document, every hidden transaction, every manipulated contract, it's all there. Undeniable. Batray's face twitches. He opens his mouth to speak, but the words falter, meaningless in the weight of exposure. He looks to Mom, then Dad, pleading for some sign of rescue, some lifeline. But there is none. Tonight no one can save him. I feel the years of pent-up anger, resentment, and humiliation boil to the surface. I don't need to yell. I don't need to attack. The room itself, filled with witnesses, is the perfect amplifier for the truth. You wanted to prove I was lying, I say softly, letting the words hang in the room. You wanted to show the world I was a failure. But the joke's on you. The truth doesn't lie, Battery. You do. His hands shake. He clutches at the lapels of his suit like armor, but it's worthless. His friends, colleagues, and family, all eyes are on him. Every whisper, every phone, every curious glance is a reminder. The golden boy is exposed, and the one he underestimated, the one he tried to destroy, is standing taller than ever. I glance at Nolan, who gives me the tiniest nod. Everything is exactly as it should be. Betray's collapse isn't just personal, it's public. Tonight, the family witnesses the complete unraveling. And I finally feel free. Batray stands frozen, the room's weight pressing down on him like a storm. Every guest, every whispering bystander, every pointed glance, he can feel it all. The golden boy, once untouchable, now exposed, isolated, and powerless. I take a measured step forward, letting the silence stretch. Tonight, Betray, you learned something important, I say, voice calm but sharp, slicing through the tension like a blade. Being the favorite doesn't make you untouchable. Lying doesn't make you clever. And trying to destroy someone else, well, that always comes back to you. His shoulders slump. For the first time, he doesn't try to charm, manipulate, or deflect. He simply stands there, trapped by the truth he thought he could hide. Grandpa Miriam leans forward, cane tapping lightly against the marble floor. I expected integrity from both my grandsons. Jazz, you've finally shown it, Betray. You've shown the opposite. Mom doesn't intervene. Dad doesn't speak. The golden boy's shield of favoritism, arrogance, and carefully crafted image has shattered, completely in front of the entire family. And now the guests, I glance around the room. Phones flash as guests document the unraveling, whispers spreading like wildfire. The evidence Nolan provided is irrefutable. Betray's schemes, the fraud, every hidden manipulation. It's all out in the open. I take a deep breath, feeling the years of resentment, disappointment, and invisibility melt away. And so, I say, voice steady, commanding, the one who was once dismissed, the one you all overlooked, is finally free.